What was coming up that you wanted to work on?
Well, I feel very resolved from my reading with Guy in reference to my body and all the chats we had before and everything. So I think this like weird little voice in the back of my head is about losing my daughter, and I keep getting the age 19. I'm like, oh, it's not mine, it's not mine. I worked with a lady who lost her daughter at 19, but maybe she triggered me because that's what happened.
And maybe that has happened in other lifetimes. Yeah. So just tune into that fear or that feeling in the body. Where is it?
It's a big, big, deep, dark hole that never heals, doesn't go away, right, like deep inside.
Even though I've got this deep dark hole.
Even though I've got this deep dark hole.
And it feels like it's never healed.
And it feels like it's never healed.
About losing my daughter.
About losing my daughter.
And the age 19.
And the age 19.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And everything my body's feeling.
And everything my body's feeling.
And I ask my guides and higher self.
And I ask my guides and higher self.
Where does this come from?
Where does this come from?
So I can process and release it.
So I can process and release it.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to the start of that deep dark hole.
All the way back to the start of that deep dark hole. It wasn't my daughter that died. It was me.
That deep dark hole.
The deep dark hole.
I died.
I died.
I died many times.
I died many times.
But this one sticks out.
But this one sticks out.
Asking the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
Asking the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
Why does it remember this death?
Why does it remember this death?
That deep dark hole.
That deep dark hole.
Who was I leaving behind?
I was leaving my daughter behind. And I wasn't ready. I didn't want to go, and I felt very tortured crossing over. I was trying so hard to get back. And
I couldn't get back.
I couldn't get back.
I didn't want to go.
I didn't want to go.
I didn't want to leave my daughter.
I didn't want to leave my daughter.
I didn't want to leave her.
I didn't want to leave her.
The age 19.
The age 19.
I wonder where that comes in.
I wonder where that comes in.
Was she 19 when I left?
Was she 19 when I left?
Was I 19 when I left?
I was 19.
Everything I remember.
Everything I remember.
That deep dark hole.
That deep dark hole.
Passing over.
Passing over.
When I didn't want to.
When I didn't want to, I was raped.
Yep, that's what happened. I was raped, and I remember it. My DNA remembers it. That deep dark hole. I thank my DNA for remembering it to protect me.
I thank my DNA for remembering it to protect me.
But it's time to process and release it now.
But it's time to process and release it now.
All the way back to its origin.
Look at all this anger.
Yep, all this anger. All this anger trapped in my body. All this anger in my hip. I can't even speak. All this anger. Processing and releasing all this anger.
Processing and releasing all this anger.
That's been trapped in my body for a lifetime.
It's been trapped in my body for lifetimes.
All this anger.
This anger.
Trapped in my body.
Trapped in my body.
It's time to process and release it.
It's time to process and release it.
It doesn't belong trapped in my body.
It doesn't belong trapped in my body.
And I choose to send it back to where it belongs.
And I choose to send it back to where it belongs.
And put the right energy in me.
And put the right energy in me.
Releasing it from my DNA.
Releasing it from my DNA.
From that lifetime and every lifetime.
From that lifetime and every lifetime.
That deep dark hole.
That deep dark hole.
All the anger.
I think I killed myself.
That feeling I killed myself.
That feeling I killed myself.
And at the same time I didn't want to leave my daughter.
And at the same time I didn't want to leave my daughter.
That confusion.
That confusion.
That confusion in my body.
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 Anger.
Anger.
Wanting to leave.
Wanting to leave.
Not wanting to leave.
Not wanting to leave.
That anger and confusion.
That anger and confusion.
The deep dark hole.
The deep dark hole.
Wanting to come back and I couldn't.
Wanting to come back and I couldn't.
All the confusion.
All the confusion.
All the guilt.
All the guilt.
that I killed myself
That I killed myself and
and left my daughter.
I stabbed myself in here. I left my daughter.
That feeling of stabbing myself,
That feeling of stabbing myself.
trying to release the anger through death.
Trying to release the anger through death.
I thank my DNA for remembering it,
I thank my DNA for remembering it.
for the side of my body for remembering it.
For the side of my body for remembering it.
But as a being of light with full free choice,
But as a being of light with full free choice.
it's my choice and my instruction now
It's my choice and my instruction now
to process and release that.
to process and release that.
Releasing the anger,
Releasing the anger,
the confusion,
the confusion,
The
sadness now. The guilt,
the sadness,
the sadness,
the feeling of stabbing myself.
the feeling of stabbing myself.
Releasing all the sadness,
Releasing all the sadness and the self-hatred,
all the way back to its origin.
all the way back to its origin.
Rising above it,
Rising above it,
all the way up.
all the way up.
All the way up to where I received the higher learning and lesson.
All the way up to where I received the higher learning lesson. Yep.
To the soul who agreed to rape me
To the soul who agreed to rape me
for my own learning and lesson.
for my own learning and lesson.
We had an agreement
We had an agreement
and he played his part well.
and he played his part well.
I had an agreement with the soul of my daughter
I had an agreement with the soul of my daughter
and I played my part well.
and I played my part well.
For her higher learning and lesson,
For her higher learning and lesson,
as well as for mine.
as well as for mine. I was Asian and she became a warrior.
She became a warrior.
She became a warrior.
She gained her strength.
She gained her strength.
My higher learning and lesson.
My higher learning and lesson.
Releasing the pain,
Releasing the pain,
the sadness,
the sadness,
the guilt,
the guilt,
the anger
the anger
out of my body.
out of my body.
All the way back to all the lifetimes I felt it,
All the way back to all the lifetimes I felt it,
including this one.
including this one.
Dissolving away that black hole.
Dissolving away that black hole.
What colour does the body need?
Pink.
Pink angel. So pink angel is all about love and relationships.
Oh, right.
Pink angel. This is a good time to open your heart to reignite your romance with your partner and attract love. How much do you allow yourself to be loved? Love from the outside comes from the measurement by which you love yourself. If you feel that your partner doesn't love you enough, it's a reflection of how little you love yourself. You can't make them love you more, but you can focus on loving yourself more. Romance yourself as if you're the most desirable person and someone's desperately in love with you. Do all the things you would do when you first fall in love. Call on the pink angel of love and partnership to guide you in attracting greater love into your life. That will help you love yourself unconditionally and attract love into your life unconditionally. Just like a cat.
Just like the cat.
Yes.
So beautiful.
Who wants to be giving you lots of love?
Oh, thank you.
Look at that.
Amazing.
Yours. Oh,
That's off the charts.